my god, I don't even know how we're gonna get through this. I cannot believe we are telling this story. I cannot believe this happened to us.
The cousins!
The cousins are about to spill, like, the greatest amount of tea ever. Like, the Boston Tea Party could literally never. That event cannot even come close to this. I don't even know how to start this. I really do not.
Where did it begin? Well, you see, we traveled to Washington, D.C. for Playlist Live.
That we did. And we thought we were going to have a smooth, awesome, unproblematic little trip. We thought it was going to be all fun and games.
Oh, but it wasn't.
Oh, we were fucking wrong.
I feel like this always happens though.
Well, here's the thing. Whenever I go into a social media event these days, I always think of like the worst thing possible to happen, and I expect that because at every single event I've ever been to in the past 2.5 years, something happens at the event that I would have never like expected, and I always like hope that this happens, or this person talks to me, or this person wants to kiss me, but that shit never happens, okay? Nothing happens the way I want it to.
I got a lot of kisses from Playlist DC.
Well, it must be nice being in a relationship.
It is.
Thank you for bragging. I would have never expected this to happen at all. I don't know if I could ever have imagined anything like this to happen if you sat me down before this event and was like, hey, something really fucking awful is gonna happen to you before you go to Playlist DC. I would have never come up with this bullshit. I don't know how this bullshit even happened. Ah!
You're so mad.
I get so fired up when I talk about this. Oh my god! I'm stressed out again.
I was so mad in the moment, but now I'm kind of like...
Oh, every time I think about it, I'm just like, I'm so broke.
Oh shit, me too.
So, here we are. It is Monday. We have been here since Thursday. We're pretty much exhausted as hell, and Sunday is like the last night of playlist, so everyone just like goes hard that day. At one point in the weekend, we changed rooms from the talent floor to 2 separate regular rooms because there was about 5 of us in one room, and that just wasn't fucking cutting it at all.
What are we gonna call her? How about Gwen? Alright, so Cam and Morgan are in one room, Caitlyn,
Gwen and the other Caitlyn are in another room.
Mm-hmm.
So none of us like talk to each other Sunday night and confirm a time that we're gonna get up for our 12:30 flight the next day.
Yeah, I can't believe we just like...
We didn't even have a group chat going that weekend.
Yeah,
like
we
were,
just, like,
I mean, we were
passed
always
out.
together. But anyway, so we all went to bed like so late that night. We never established a time to get up, but like obviously we were kind of like, well, I'll just get up and text each other when we wake up. That was our game plan, but that game plan fell apart before it even started. So me, Gwen, Caitlyn, and our friend Nick are all in my room. We all wake up at around like 9ish, and me and Caitlyn are just like, fuck, like we really don't want to get up. Our shit is all over the room. Our room is literally trashed. Like we just have so much shit to do. Our flight is at 12:30. We're 15 minutes away from the airport, and we're just like, okay, like we don't want to get up. Like this sucks. Like playlist is over. We don't want to go home and go back to like reality and just be in I love your apartment, but like I'd rather be at the Marriott Marquis. Yeah. Oh my god, I miss Scrape Away so much. We were kind of dreading going home. It was an early flight. Whatever. We just sit there and we're kind of complaining, and Nick is like, don't go, and we're like, fuck you, Nick, like we have to leave, like fuck you, like there's no way we're not leaving.
Oh, he said don't go? Oh, so he initiated it.
He basically fuck you,
fault.
Nick. And Gwen was like, yeah guys, don't go, and we were like, Gwen, like you silly goose.
Jen.
Jen.
I meant Gwen.
So Gwen was just like, no, like you don't have to leave, like I'll pay the difference of your flight to stay later. And me and Caitlyn just looked at each other and we're like, are you like sure? Like why would you want to do that? Like that's so generous, but like why do you want us to say that badly? We kind of like pushed it aside, and we were just like, oh, like she's not gonna pay like 75 times 4 that amount of money for us to stay an extra couple hours. We just kept talking about how we didn't want to get up and go pack and everything, and then she kept saying like, you're staying, we have things to do tonight, like you can just leave tomorrow. And Caitlyn and I were just looking at each other and we're like, we like have work tomorrow, we have school tomorrow. I had work.
Yeah, I had work.
He had work. What time?
Yep.
10 a.m.?
Yep, 10 a.m.
He had work at 10 a.m. the next day. I had school at 7 a.m. I had work at 4 p.m. the next day. Like I had a lot of shit to do. So I was like, no, like I can't stay. So Morgan finally texts me. It's like 10:30 now. So like we're cutting it close. And she's just like, hello. And I'm like, ah, fuck. And I'm like, Morgan, we're trying to stay. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was just like, shit, Cam's gonna kill me, Morgan's gonna kill me, like I know you have work as soon as we land. I knew that me trying to initiate staying an extra day was gonna cause so many problems. I was right. Oh, we caused so many problems. It's not my knees now.
No.
Oh, I shouldn't be chewing gum.
Oh.
Oh my god, I really thought you were gonna eat that. So here we are.
It is 10:30.
Gwen is like, I'm gonna call the airport and say that all of us got in a car crash and that we are talent and that we need to stay an extra day. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You didn't know that?
No.
You didn't hear anything about the call we made?
No. I was...
Well, this is a story time for you too, Cam.
Wow. So we were in a car accident.
We were in a car accident. One of us was severely injured. Alright, so I'm like, I need to take a shower right now, whether I stay or whether I go. Should I stay or should I go? So I take a shower, I'm just like la la la, like lather and shampoo, like throw up my hair, like
finally you took a shower.
I know,
Oh my
it's
god.
stunk.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a shower and I'm trying to drown out all my problems. Okay, so really funny, super hysterical story.
We were filming at my house. She was using my camera. My battery decides to die.
He didn't decide to charge it today. Thank you so much. Like,
she didn't tell me she wanted to use my camera, so we were like, oh, we're just gonna use Caitlyn's camera, and then we put her camera on.
Vlogging camera.
And then her battery died too. So we charged it up, and now we're at our new destination.
We are now in a hotel, like weird ass room. Anyone can walk in on us at any time. So like, this should be so much fun.
I hope they do. I hope I can.
Me too. I think we should interview
slip.
people. Ask them what they think of Gwen. Anyways, so I think I had told this part about 8,000 times, but I was coming out of the bathroom and then I asked Gwen and all my friends that were in the room and I was like, okay, so what happened when you called? And they were like, well, we told the airlines that you got in a car crash. They said, because it's that specific airline, they can't do anything about that. They were only offering us $75 to fly out at 7 o'clock or we just couldn't do anything about it. And we were just like, okay. It's like, our flight's at 12:30. What the hell are we gonna do from now to 7 o'clock? Like, we wanted to stay another night to do fun things at night. Like, leaving at 7 o'clock will do absolutely nothing for us because we'll have to leave at 5 and everything. That was just not worth it. All of this just literally happens like so fast. I don't even remember it that well, honestly. But I remember that it was 11 o'clock on the dot and you and Morgan were outside of your room and me and Caitlyn came out with all of our stuff and we were like, okay, like, let's go.
And then we were like, there's no point in going because we wouldn't have made it. Like, our flight
if we tried and we rushed and we told people like we needed
it. Our flight was at 12:30. We were still at the hotel at 11. By the time we even got to the airport, like we boarded at like 11:45. So like there was literally no point in even trying to go to the airport at this point. Yeah. So our only option was to stay.
Yeah.
And at the time, like I was super excited. Like
no, I know. I was so excited.
Because like we got to spend more time with like.
But we hold on. We have to explain how the whole staying thing even happened. We can't even say that we were excited to stay before we address how this happened. So we're all sitting outside and then Gwen is like, hold on, like let me take care of this. It's 11 o'clock. I'm like, we have no time to lose. Like if we want to get out of here now, we need to try now. Everyone else is telling me that like, no, fuck you. Like we're never gonna get out of here. Just give up. Like there's no way we're going home now. And I was like, nope, we can do it. But then Gwen was like, I'm gonna go fix this. And we were just like, what? And she walks into Morgan and Cam's room. She disappears for 20 minutes. She comes back and like, I wish I picked up on how suspicious this was as she walked out of the room, but she walked out like cackling and looked like she was like
really?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No.
She was just like, ah, like I'm having a heart attack, I'm having a heart attack. And she kept repeating, I'm having a heart attack. And like, I didn't pick up on that because like, that was a sign of being guilty of something, but we'll get into that. But she was just like, I'm having a heart attack. I guess she was like in shock that she basically booked us flights. Because we had looked at the flights earlier and they were $300 to get home the next morning. So we were like, fuck that, like there's no way we can do that. But then she walks out of the room. She's saying, I'm having a heart attack, I'm having a heart attack. And then she goes, follow me right now. She leads us down the hallway into me and Caitlyn and hers room. And we walk in there and she goes like, everyone like check your emails or something. And we all check our emails. We all have flight confirmations for a flight at 6 a.m. the next day. Those flights were $300. We already called American Airlines and tried to get our flights like switch the next day saying we were in a car crash or anything. Like she straight up paid a good
$1,200.
$1,200.
300 times 4 people, $1,200.
Yeah, a good lot of money.
Over 1,000. Over 1,000.
Like yeah. So basically, we're all in this room. We're so shocked. It was just one of those things that we were just like, our friend like just did that for us. Our friend wanted us to stay that bad that she just dropped a grand on us to say
You never find a friend who like will literally spend that much in a second for you.
No, and so we were all kind of just like, not even this is too good to be true, but like it's too good to be true.
Just in awe.
Like
we just, didn't know. Like what do you say to that? What do you say to your friend that just buys you 4 flights for everyone? No like second thoughts about it. They just do it on spot. Like
just for you to stay 24 hours.
Like yeah, you can't say anything. You just take it and like spend more time with them.
Yeah, so we were just like, holy shit, like thank you so much. Like you really didn't have to do that. Like we could have gone home, but we all had the flight confirmations in our emails and we were just like, okay, like
let's have fun.
Let's move on to the next hotel because we wanted to get out of that room. Our room was freaking trashed.
Yeah.
So we all looked at hotels online and we found a good room for like 7 of us to split because a couple of our friends were staying an extra night and we were all just so stoked. We were like, fuck yeah, like we don't get to see these people that often, so we were really, really excited. Like we were soaking it in. So we go to our next hotel, like everything's fine, we have a great day, like we all just do our separate things. Some people take naps, some of us go out to eat.
I took a nap.
You took a nap.
Me
You
and
were
Morgan,
passed
so that was
out.
our first nap together.
Me and Caitlyn found a rooftop pool. We went upstairs
Yeah, you
and took
couldn't get
pictures. Nope. Well, actually, you had to be 21 to get up there. Oh, we finessed. It was just one of those days that like it was needed because we'd been running around the whole weekend and we were so excited to just like chill out and not have anywhere to be and no one to like meet and be at an event, I guess. So this is when shit gets interesting. So our friend group was basically split up into 2 parts that night. There were 7 or 6 of us at our hotel, and then the rest of them were at my friend's house 45 minutes away in Maryland, and we were just like, all right, like we're kind of all like the last people here, like why don't we just go to Maryland? But it wasn't really my idea because honestly I wanted to run around the monuments that night. But
Me too. That was whose idea was it to go there?
Gwen's.
Oh.
So Gwen was like, I'll buy us an Uber there and we can come back before your flight, before you have to leave. Because, oh wait, hold on, rewind, rewind, I forgot this part. Me, Morgan, and Caitlyn were at a restaurant earlier that day, okay? They were all back at the hotel, and we decided to like look deeper into the information on our flight. Turns out we had a layover, and I told my mom that I was going to be walking in my house at 10. I thought this flight landed, I thought the flight was from 6 to 8 for whatever reason, but turns out it was a layover, and we had a first flight 6 to 8, then we had another flight like 10 to like 12 or something.
Yes.
So we didn't catch on to that for a very long time, and also, do you want to say something?
Mind you, I have a big boy job. It's not like I can call out every single day, and like taking time off for work for like events like this, it's like hard for me because I'm a manager.
Yeah.
And I thought I was gonna get to work I had 10 a.m. I had work at 10 a.m. that day, so I thought I was gonna get to work at 10 a.m. So yeah, I'm on the same page as you.
I told my mom that like I'm sorry, like I was missing like the 4th fucking day of senior year. I'll land in Boston at 8. I will take a train from like 8ish to 9. I will get ready, I will go to school. I will be walking through my school doors at 10 o'clock and I will do a half day of school. That was my plan. But when we were at a restaurant that day, we made the discovery that we had a layover that she didn't tell us about, and we were not flying out of the DCA airport, we were flying out of the Baltimore airport, which is 50 minutes away. So we texted them and we were like, fuck, like this is gonna be like super interesting. We're gonna have to leave so early because instead of 15 minutes away from the airport, we're now 50 minutes away. So we were like, fuck, literally. Gwen was the one that wanted to go to her friend's house 45 minutes away. So she was like, we're gonna leave at 9, we're gonna come back at 2, you guys are gonna be ready to go to the airport around 3 or 4, and it's an hour away, you guys will all Uber there, we'll be there around 5, our flight was like 6, 7ish. So we were like, whatever, like let's just do that. So we all like get in the Uber and everything, we all go there like we're all ready to have fun. And then everything from here just goes so south, like so incredibly downhill that it makes me want to throw up. It made me want to throw up.
I was so mad
while this was a thing, okay?
I was so mad that
So
night.
here's where shit just gets so bad. All right, we're all at our friend's house, 45 minutes away. All of our friends are having a blast. We're having so much fun together. Around 10 o'clock, me, 2 of my friends, and Caitlyn decide that we're gonna go to 7-Eleven. So here we are, we're at 7-Eleven. One of my friends who now lives in LA calls me. And she's not really someone I talk to every single day. I love her so much, but like I was in the middle of something, like I was in 7-Eleven, I was trying to get into an Uber back, like I had 8,000 things going on at once. I like didn't really have time to talk to her. So I was like, I like can't do this right now, so I just put my phone back in my pocket, got back in the Uber. After going to 7-Eleven, we got back to the house. And then I get back to the house, me and Morgan get a text from her, and she says, this is an emergency, I need to talk to you guys right now. And we were like, okay, like, this is so weird. Like, we never talked to this girl, like, what could this emergency possibly be about? So I pull Morgan from the other room, she's in a room with everybody else, and we're just put in this group chat. So I just go and I get her, and I go, like, she's texting us right now, like, we need to take care of this, like, what the hell is going on? Right before this happened, her best friend, who I also don't really talk to, texted me and goes, what airline are you flying tomorrow?
Really?
I said American Airlines, and he was just like, how many of you? And I was like, 4, and I was just like, oh, like maybe he like is gonna, maybe he has connections, maybe he's upgrading us, I don't really know. I just wasn't thinking the worst of it at all. So then after I tell him this information, about a half hour goes by, and then she texts us this. We call her, and like, there has never been a more chaotic 15 seconds of my entire life than in this moment when I called her, and she goes, I don't know how to tell you guys this, but Gwen booked all of your flights on my card, and I have to cancel them. And me and Morgan just go into like full berserk panic, cold sweat, fucking crying hysteria mode. Like, what, like, oh my god, I will never be able to get over this. The girl that is calling us, she has money, and like, she has always been very generous about it with all of her friends. But so when she calls us and tells us that this girl, Gwen, booked all of her flights on her card, we just literally don't even know how to act, because Gwen used to like spend some money on this girl's card, and it used to be a problem. But a while ago we got her card unhooked off of her card because we knew it was wrong, and like just someone unhooked it off of her card. It was like her Apple Pay or something. And we were like, this is wrong, like you can't be doing this, and she stopped. Somehow this girl changed her card, and Gwen got a hold of all of the new card information, and everything that she bought at Playlist DC that whole weekend, between the $1,200 flights, all the food, all the Ubers, this is a good $2,000, has been off of this girl's card who like lives in LA now. Like I'll give her name, Olivia. Sarah Olivia. Okay, her name's Sarah Olivia. Okay, so Sarah Olivia is in LA. She has nothing to do with this event. She's not even there. And Gwen has been using all of Sarah Olivia's money this whole entire weekend. And we find all of this out as we are in our friend's house, 45 minutes away from our hotel.
6 hours away from our flight. Like
6 hours, like literally.
We were not gonna go to sleep.
Like, no, we were planning on not sleeping at all this night.
Yep.
Oh my god. I will just never be able to like describe in full detail the stress that I had during that phone call. So she was just like, I have to cancel your flights, like there's nothing I can do about it, like she just can't do that, like I'm sorry you guys are in this position, but I have to cancel all of them. And we were just like, no, please, like we have no other way home, like we all have work in the morning, like I have school, like we're all freaking out. She's like, I'm sorry, I have to. And we're just like, okay, we get it, Sarah Olivia,
yeah,
like
you can't say anything about that, like
we can't fight her on it.
It's not,
she should have never been in that position in the first place.
Yeah.
Gwen should have never been spending all of her money. And so now we're just absolutely panicking. I'm sitting there just freaking the fuck out. I tell Morgan to go get Cam. Cam comes over, and then we're all talking with Cam, and then one by one all the other guys in this house come over, and they start to realize that like there's a huge fucking problem going on. And then I'm like, shit, Caitlyn doesn't even know what's going on. Caitlyn, mind you, she had just met Gwen this weekend. Like, she is very new to all of this stuff. She has no idea what the hell is going on. So we come in and tell her, and we go, Gwen basically used all of Sarah Olivia's money, that this girl that you also don't even know, she used all of her money, somehow got all of her card information, and just spent all of her money for us to stay an extra day. I know you don't even know this girl, but like this is what's happening. She's freaking the fuck out. We literally all have things to do the next day. It is absolute chaos, and one by one, all of the people in that house come into the room that we are in, and everyone is just freaking the fuck out. Because what the hell else are we supposed to do? Like, yeah. we don't have flights home, and we were leaving in 6 hours. One by one, Sarah Olivia ends up being the only person left in the other room. And she's catching on quick, like she is figuring out what the fuck is going on. And so one of my friends tells me and the other Caitlyn, like, go say something, like someone go say something. I am in the middle of looking at buses, like what we thought we were gonna have to take a bus at 2 a.m. 2 hours from like the exact time that this was going on. Like somehow make it all the way back to our stuff, 45 minutes away, 45 minutes back, make a bus at 2 a.m. as it's midnight now, take a bus from Baltimore to New York, then New York to Boston, and make it home before 10 a.m. Before work, before school, before everything. Like that was our game plan. But then what? You guys started looking at buses, and how much were they? I don't even remember.
It was like $400.
$400 fucking
They were just as expensive as flights were. So there was no way that we could even afford that.
Like, holy shit. So, like, we literally did not even know how to get home. Like, everyone was like, do we get, like, a $300 flight? And I was like, I don't have money for that. Like, when I go to places, I don't have a lot of money myself, but when I go places, like, I can cover my hotel, I can cover my flight.
Yeah, you'd never think that you need to buy, like, another
Yeah, I don't need extra. It was a $170 round trip to get to Playlist, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I got that covered, and I'll bring, like, a couple $100 for food. Like, that's, like, my game plan. I never expect, like, especially on the last day, I don't have much money to spend left.
Yeah.
I have nothing. I literally have fucking cents, like, quarters, a couple nickels left. Like, that's all we're balling on at this point.
I'm in the red.
The red?
My bank account.
Oh, they meant like your social blade. Everyone's like, do we do $300 flights? And I was like, I cannot fucking do a $300 flight. That is literally not happening. I can't do this. Like, fuck this. Like, I'm freaking the fuck out. And then so one of my friends tells Caitlyn to go yell at her, and then she goes and yells at her, and she goes, you used all of Sarah Olivia's money to buy our flights, didn't you? And she goes, what? And then she goes, that's literally what you did. And then she just turns her phone off and puts it in her pocket and then just disappears. She just walks into another room in the house. Doesn't even admit that she did that. She literally could not even own up to it. Once again, we are all in this living room. We are all freaking the fuck out. We have no way to get home. It is midnight. We thought we had a flight at 6. Somehow, I don't even know what happened in the next 30 minutes. We were all looking at flights. We all found $100 ones, right? Yeah. And then you and Morgan...
Me, Morgan, and Evan left.
End up leaving.
Yeah, we got an Uber, we left back to the hotel.
But they left before we even
literally
booked
didn't
anything.
say anything. We just left. We didn't want to be in the same houses.
No, I think they just freaked out and left, and then it was just me and Caitlyn left to deal with all of this. So they left, and then it was still us there, and I was just sitting on the couch, and I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to get home.
We get back to the hotel. I am furious because I don't know what to do. I almost got in a fight with a homeless guy. He threw a water bottle at me and Morgan, so I was like, I turned around.
The last thing you needed to be doing was picking a fight with a homeless guy.
And so I start going at the homeless guy, walking towards him, and he starts walking towards me. Morgan starts crying, so I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna do this then. So we turn around, we walk back.
Why did you make her cry?
She was scared because the homeless guy was coming at me.
Why did you think that was a good idea?
I was mad.
So you're taking it out on a homeless guy.
He threw a water bottle at me.
I'm sure you started.
No, he was on crack.
No,
I was at CVS buying a vitamin water.
A vitamin water.
Yeah, that I never ended up drinking. So then we get back to the hotel, and Gwen is at the hotel. I was like, I wanted security to get her out, but she was behind me, so then that didn't really work.
Wait, okay, so backstory of that. So we are all, because this kind of all coordinates, because so many things were happening at one time. They got in an Uber, but me and Caitlyn and Nick stayed at our friend's house, and so we were just trying to figure this shit out. So we were like, let's get in an Uber right behind them. So we got in an Uber, but as we walked outside to the Uber, Gwen is sitting in our Uber. We don't see her leave the house. We don't hear any sort of noise, noises happen when you try to leave this house. It has full on security. She somehow ends up in the fucking Uber, and we all just look at her and go, excuse me, get out. And she just doesn't even do anything about it.
So did she get out?
She sits there and she goes, wait, why? And I literally scream at the top of my lungs, what do you mean, why? What the fuck do you mean?
So did she ever get in the same Uber as you? Did you guys ride together?
No, we kicked her out. We told her to get out. We were like, you're not doing this right now. You need to get out of this right now. And she literally...
When I got to the hotel, literally maybe 5 minutes after almost fighting the homeless guy, I turn around and she's behind me.
Okay, so we all get in that Uber and we take off down the street, and Nick is like, wait, since there are flights that we know we're gonna get on, why don't we go back to the house, book them in the house, then go back later? Because obviously our flights aren't gonna be until 6ish, we're not taking a bus. We found $100 flights that we were going to be able to take.
Thank God.
And there was enough for all of us. I don't know how we ended up having $100 flights.
Right?
But we hadn't even booked that yet. We were all in the Ubers. We were still panicking on how to get home, but we were just why don't we just fucking go back to the house and just chill and book it and then hang out for 2 hours and then just leave. And we were like, okay, Nick, you have a point. There's no point in freaking out going back to the hotel. Let's just go hang out with our friends while we have time, because we don't get to see them that often. As the Uber turns around and goes back up the street, another Uber comes flying past us. And it is Gwen in the Uber, okay? She's about 5 minutes behind them, and somehow down the highway she just speeds up and literally gets to them, and they get to the hotel at the same time. And then that's when all that stuff at the front desk happens. But before you continue on that, so the whole flight booking thing, we get back to the house, I am freaking out. I cannot ask my mom for $100. I have $106 left on my account. Flight is $108. What do? I message a sugar daddy.
Really?
How do you not know this? I messaged a fucking sugar daddy, and within 3 minutes, I was sent $100, okay? That literally happened, okay? So I don't know how I got that lucky. It was this random person that I literally have not even talked to in months. I did a full-on sob story. I literally did that. How proud I am of that, I don't know, but I literally did not have that much money. This guy just hooked it up. He was the plug. He saved my ass. My mom would have killed me if I texted her and asked her for $100 right then and there. That is literally how I got home, because of a sugar daddy, okay? That is how I got home. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and that was a desperate measure I took, and I got my fucking ass home. But you got to the hotel.
I got to the hotel. I'm furious at this point, and I really don't get mad or angry or anything. But I was just so panicked and so scared because I bought 4 flights this whole trip.
He wanted to leave multiple times.
I wanted to leave so many times, so I bought a flight with Spirit Airlines. Out of everyone, I bought Spirit Airlines.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So this was the 4th flight I bought, so I was just panicked. So I'm at front desk, and I was just once she gets here, I'm gonna just tell security to kick her out. I turn around and she's behind me. So I charge up to the room. I don't know how she even got in there, but I start flipping at
She
her.
got into the room? Did you
room.
open the door?
I don't know how she got in there.
Did she have a key?
I don't know, but she was in there, and I was
Holy
just like,
shit.
"Get out! You can't be in here! Get the f out of here!" Like I was legit screaming at her, and I feel so bad for screaming at her. Like I was literally
Dude,
like,
we
so
have never been
mad.
that panicked in our lives.
Yeah, you put people in
You
such
put your
a
best
bad
friends in that position.
and like we care about you like a lot, and like
we
you know,
really did care
yeah.
about this person, but like it was just an absolute disaster and fucking chaos. When we got back to the hotel, they were already all sleeping. We went back later. We didn't even ask each other what flights we were on. We all just saw $100 flights and just all booked it, but no one even decided to communicate with each other and say, oh, we got this flight. So me and Caitlyn, we get up at 4. They're sleeping by the time we get up, because we got back to the hotel at 3. We took an hour nap. We got up at 4. We had a flight at 7. So we start leaving. We get to the airport. We find out our flight is delayed. 5 minutes later, we turn around. They're walking through security. So you guys left within a 5-minute time span.
I woke
of us.
up and I saw you guys packing up, so I woke Morgan up, and I was like, they're leaving. And so then I thought like we should leave too.
I didn't even know you guys, like,
Well, I saw
none
you
of us
guys,
knew
yeah.
that we were on the same flight either. So we all get there, we all look at our things and we're like, oh shit, we're all on the same flight. Like, literally nobody even knew that we were on the same flight. Like, that's how chaotic it was. We didn't even bother to ask each other, who was on what flight? Like, what time are you guys leaving? Like, we just decided to
Yeah, me
split
and
up 2
Morgan
and 2.
booked ours together, and then they.
Me and Caitlyn booked ours
We just
together.
had to get home. Literally, that's all it was. We just
Literally,
had to get home.
Caitlin's dad was the plug. He sent her money to get us to the Ubers and back, because we had to Uber from Baltimore back to DC, then back to fucking Baltimore for our flight, and then, oh my god,
It was just a mess. So then we get to the airport. We're all just tired and cranky. We're trying to sleep on the floor. It's not working.
Oh, I wiped out.
We literally didn't even have to get to the airport that early.
No, because then our flight was fucking delayed, and we had no idea.
Till like 9 something. So we were at the airport since 5. So we were there for like 4.5
We had
hours.
Auntie Anne's, we had Smoothie
Yeah, we had
King, like
smoothies.
we were feasting, like
Yeah.
we deserved a feast at that point. After all that chaos, that is literally what we deserved.
Then we got on the plane, and then we went to JFK,
Yeah.
and then we got back to Boston. But like the whole thing was just a big mess, and it makes me like not wanna like.
Ever leave my house ever again? Like, kind of.
Yeah.
I know this was probably the longest story time ever, but like.
But it was juicy. You never
So-
hear real stories like this.
No, it's
people
literally-
fabricate. shit
Like, I
all
will
the time.
literally, time to put like some tweets. Like, Cam has put, we're gonna blur out the names.
I tweeted
A lot of shit
A
while it was
lot of
happening.
stuff
It was
when I was
fucking
angry.
chaos. Like, this
Yeah.
was a good friend of ours, and like, I really don't mean to be making this video to like,
out them,
but like, it was something that happened, and
it
like,
was a situation, and
We went
it
through it,
happened,
like-
and we're gonna tell you guys. We're open about our lives all the time, so
Yeah.
obviously we're gonna tell you guys.
like, in that moment, I remember on the Uber back with Nick and Caitlyn, I was like, we're gonna laugh about this one day. Like, this is really gonna be
I'm
funny.
not. I'm still not.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry it was so long, but it's as real as it gets. I didn't want to leave out anything in this.
Hope you guys have a great night.
I hope you have a better experience
yeah.
at Playlist
If you went
CC
to
if you
Playlist,
went.
yeah, I hope you guys
I
had a
hope
good
you
time.
didn't stay an extra day and get.
Did you just crack?
Yeah, I
everything?
did.
Ew.
And I hope that you didn't have this type of experience there, because if you did, shit.
Shit.
Like, just shit. I have nothing to say.
Subscribe to Caitlyn.
Yeah,
and
subscribe
go,
to Cam.
Yeah, if you want.
We're cousins.
Yeah, we're cousins. Subscribe and thumbs this video up.
Please
and
comment what you thought about this. I'm so interested to see what people have to say about
Me
this.
too.
If you watch all this, please let me know what you thought. And share this with all your friends, because
Maybe they got.
maybe this happened to them too. You're not alone. Are your friends scammers too? Let us know if you can relate.
Love you.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Cause I don't need no fraud. I don't need no drama.